is for the benefit of SME viewers. So it's more basic. When do you think an SME should look at going public, and what is the time frame that generally is realistic from deciding to finally listing?
I think when they start their enterprise, within the first year, they must, because the first year is a tumultuous year where they are getting their bearings right and things and so on and so forth. But by the end of the first year, they should have a plan which may be basic in place for something like an IPO. It should be there in their minds, because then only they can set things right, their systems right. There's no point going 5 years down the line and then turning around and saying that, okay, I need to go for an IPO. So from today onwards, you've already created enough of a mess for you to straighten out. And Sajeev correctly put it, funding comes from all sorts of ways, and you don't know how to, loosen that knot and move it around. So I would say that as early as possible, you must have this in view that you will go public one day. And therefore, let's start building towards that. Building towards getting better processes in place, which will help you. So it should go from day one. Now, when should you actually approach a merchant banker to kickstart that particular process? There are certain norms already which the platforms have already put down, that you need so many years of profitable, your balance sheet and P&L should show profits, etc. Typically, they are talking about at least 2 to 3 years of profits and things like that. So I'm saying that I would say that you should be looking a 5-year plan, and in the 5-year plan, the first 2 years may be kind of a break even, and then beyond that it should be profitable, so that by the time you are into the 4th year, 5th year, you should be able to go, because then you are talking about getting into the next level, like what he was talking about, where you need a lot more funding coming in, and that's the way I think you should be looking at. Business to business, probably you can compress that 5-year period to about 4 years or 3 years, but I am saying I would look at about 5 years. But the thought process as early as possible, because that will help you right from day one. Yeah.
Any other closing comments on the panelists?
So I think we also somehow or other, even though we haven't even spoken,
we are meeting for the first time. Yes.
we also recommend almost the same thing to look at. That is, the moment you take the decision, whether you are a startup or at whatever level you are in, the moment you take a decision, you think of a 5-year plan. Create a roadmap. That's the most important thing. May not be an exact plan, but a roadmap for an IPO. Not necessarily that you should go IPO. In between, you may be acquired at a very good price. You may get a very good exit. And start setting up your processes in place. And you will, when you start seeing it, you will start seeing that flow happening in your organization. Just happens, Some point of time, you start seeing everything falls in place. The right kind of people join you, the right kind of momentum is happening, build-up is on. Then you can, the moment you understand that the momentum is on, that's the time you have to hit it hard. From there, it's your speed, the way you can take it to the next level. I think that's the way they should be looking at it.
No, I completely agree with them, because with a clear plan, go for it, because when you typically, one of the practical examples that I can say is one of the companies that listed recently. So the whole process got delayed because they had acquired another company about a couple of years back, which had an issue that pertained to 1993. They went in for a rights issue. There was some legal issue. So when the legal due diligence happened, this was flagged, and the whole thing. So ensuring that all legal compliance, regulatory compliance is, so that is something which, unless it is started from day one, it could always come up as a surprise thing later on, which could actually not scuttle but delay the whole process. So keeping all this in mind, so it has to start from now. So When I say from now, from the time they decide, from the time the entity starts. So that is very crucial.
On that note, let me conclude this session on taking our SMEs public. So the key takeaway from this session is that you need to plan for financial diligence, leadership bandwidth, as well as business scalability from day one of your enterprise going live. And this is a long journey, but it helps you go beyond creating profits to creating wealth, not only for yourselves, but for the society at large. And it is heartening to know that more and more SMEs in Kerala are looking at the IPO route, are looking at accepting external capital, are looking at going beyond traditional success into national and international markets and building sustainable organizations. So a wealth of experience here on this panel. I am certain that SME friends who happen to see this video will really be enriched by the wealth of experience that has been shared over the past 1 hour. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking time out to be part of this panel, and we look forward to many more interesting conversations through the pages and through the social channels of Destination Kerala. This is Eram Group presents Destination Kerala CEO Roundtable 8 signing off here. Thank you so much.